A college girl gets pregnant by accident after her first taste of forbidden fruit. Father married her to a country boy for the sake of family reputation. The first time they met, the boy was shocked by the woman's beautiful face. He was so nervous that he kept fiddling with his clothes. Even when he poured water, his hands couldn't stop shaking. No matter what the girl said, he said yes.
Do you think you'll be able to love the baby?
I do.
They met in the morning. In the afternoon, they entered the marriage hall. Perhaps the man was so nervous that he forgot to prepare his wedding ring. The good thing is that the girl does not care, because in her mind only ex-boyfriend, married to Ria just to deal with her father. But the girl could not have imagined. In the next few months, she was overwhelmed by the simple charm of the man. The drive home was deserted. This made Lily, who had been spoiled since childhood, uncomfortable. After getting out of the car, the dog kept barking from the cottage next to her. David was afraid that the dog would scare Lily, so he shut it up in advance. He opened the door and said gently,
Welcome home.
Girl was slightly stunned and then stepped into the room. The place is not as bad as expected. Not only clean and tidy, it also looks very comfortable. Ria left the biggest room for Lily. Then he showed Lily around the house. Knowing that Lily was coming, Ria had installed a water heater for her. Lily looked at Ria quietly. She didn't expect this man to be so gentle and attentive. Over dinner, they talked about their old lives. Lily said she was a graduate student in archaeology and was interested in the Troy site. But these things Ria do not know much about, it can only listen in silence. After dinner, he helped Lily to clean up the dishes. The woman was at a loss for words because of his tenderness. She finally could not help but ask Ria,
Why you agreed to this?
Ria simply replied,
Maybe it be God's will.
God's will.
After saying goodnight, they went back to their rooms. Lily put on the necklace her ex-boyfriend had given her. Looking at her ex-boyfriend's picture, Lily cried out. The next morning, Lily told Ria she wanted to go to town to make a phone call to her family. So Ria dropped her work. He drove Lily to the town. On the way, Lily looked at the crops on both sides of the road and asked about the farm. She wished she could help Ria to share some of the farming work, but Ria couldn't bear to let the tender Lily do the work. She told her that she only had to take care of the house. When she got to town, Lily called her sister, and Ria took advantage of her free time to go to the library next door. In addition to borrowing the recipes Lily wanted, he also made it a point to ask the janitor if there were any books related to Troy. He wanted to have more to talk about with Lily. In addition, he borrowed a book on baby care. And downstairs, Lily was talking to her sister about the hardships of the place. Despite Ria's kindness to herself, she can't get her ex-boyfriend out of her mind. She asks her sister for news of him. She still hasn't heard from him, but Lily is still determined. She sent letters to him secretly without Ria's knowledge, but she never got a response. In the blink of an eye, Lily was already 4 months pregnant. He was worried that the birth of the baby would have a bad effect on Ria. He asked Ria if she wasn't afraid of what people would say. I don't
care what people think. They won't say a thing.
Why is that?
Well, they want the best for us.
In her spare time, Lily learns to cook from a recipe, but her seriousness was so charming. Ria wanted to hug her from behind, but he was afraid of Lily's anger and had to keep his distance. This is Lily's first egg fry. It looked good, but the taste is not good enough. But he couldn't bear to discourage Lily. He had to hold back the spice and say it was delicious. Just then there was the roar of an engine outside the house. It turned out that Ria had borrowed the excavator from her brother-in-law. Just because yesterday Lily said she liked to swim, he was going to dig
you a hole so summertimes you and the children can go swimming.
Teaching Ria seriously and hilariously control the digging machine. I was touched. Here Lily met two Japanese girls who work in the fields. Unlike Ria, who was all about the farm, both girls had higher education. They sit together and talk about school life. They soon became close friends. At the end of the day, she told Ria the news, but Ria seemed very unhappy because they were just workers on the farm. Lily, however, was in a mood to say that her conversation with the two girls, not that Ria could understand. Ria was silent, but to Lily's surprise, when her brother-in-law was talking about farming again at the dinner table, Ria took the initiative to turn the topic to Troy. In fact, Ria didn't know much about it. He just wanted to please Lily, and Lily knew what Ria was trying to do. He hurried to explain to everyone what Troy is. Ria quietly looked at Lily, who was talking so eloquently. He smiled. On the way back, Lily kept looking at Ria. Her opinion of this man had changed a little bit. Compared to her ex-boyfriend, it seemed that the man in front of her was more worthy of a lifelong commitment. When they got home, they said goodnight to each other. The man was captivated by her beautiful face in the moonlight. He couldn't help but kiss Lily, but In this moment Lily dodged. She is not ready to start a new relationship, nor was she able to let go of her past. Soon after, her sister Abby came to visit her. Looking at the terrible living conditions and the shrunken clothes on her sister, she wanted her sister to go back with her. With the power of their family, they could create a charge of alcoholism and domestic violence, and her child would be rightfully hers. But Lily shook her head repeatedly. She told her sister Rhea was the most gentle man she'd ever met. She could not love him, but she could not hurt him, to no avail. Sister also stopped insisting. When she was leaving, Lily took out a letter. She wanted her sister to send it to her ex-boyfriend. Life went on as usual. One day Lily's car ran out of gas. As she was getting out of the car to fill up the gas tank, she accidentally found the bomb shelter that Rhea had mentioned. The whole house was filled with dusty junk. This is a treasure for the archaeologist. Lily had found a treasure. I don't know where she got the strength. She dragged all the stuff home. She was excited to show Rhea what she had done.
Someone in your family was a budding archaeologist.
Lily's words about her family made Rhea happy. That day, Lily came back from a trip and saw Rhea had burned the old things she had worked so hard to bring home. In Rhea's eyes, they were just junk that took up space. But I didn't expect Lily to treasure it so much.
Where is the burlap bag? What did you do with it?
Lily walked away. Angry, Rhea panicked. He rushed to put out the fire with water, hoping to save some of it. But burning is burning. Looking at the man's breathless face, Lily was a little distressed. But she was still upset. Rhea asked her for forgiveness, but she said they weren't trash. It's a piece of history.
Do anything to make you happy.
I know. I know that.
The next day she woke up. Lily saw a note left by Rhea.
Dear Livy, if you like junk, you'll like the cellar. Be careful, it's dusty down there.
And all of a sudden, Lily was all smiles. She went to the cellar, and sure enough, there was a lot of old stuff in there. She was very happy and put them back to use. It was as if she had found the joy of life again. Rhea also cooperated fully, although he didn't understand it, but he knew it would make Lily happy. As the days went by, as they got to know each other better, their relationship was also slowly growing. In order for Lily to be able to contact her family, a telephone was installed in the house. The small yard full of weeds. Lily's decoration became neat and tidy. Everything was looking up. She prepared food. She was going to have a romantic candlelight dinner with Rhea, but when Rhea arrived home, she was furious.
We don't have animals in this house.
Get out! Get out! Get out now! Get out!
Then he pulls out a letter from his ex-boyfriend and is furious, knowing that Lily was still in contact with the boyfriend who dumped her after all this time. He was heartbroken. The woman he had always loved and cared for. He was heartbroken that the woman he had always cared for was still in contact with her irresponsible boyfriend. The next day, Lily woke up early to prepare breakfast.
I didn't know what you had for breakfast because I've never been up that early. But I made you some eggs and some oatmeal.
There's no need.
Rhea turned her down, but the tone was still gentle.
Ray, I made a mistake.
Which mistake would that be, huh? Being with him or marrying me?
He slowly walked to Lily's side. This time, the girl didn't refuse.
Is there anything you like about me, Livy?
Lily knew this time really hurt Rhea, so she found Rhea's sister and told her about the letter. It turned out that Lily had always had hope for her boyfriend, but her boyfriend didn't recognize the baby in Lily's belly. He didn't want to pay for the mistake he made. Lily wanted to leave the place. She felt that this was the only way to make things easier for Rhea. Her sister felt very sad about this.
If you're planning on leaving, do it soon. Losing our baby brother to the war nearly killed him.
At night, Lily cried in her sleep, calling out for her dead mother. Rhea wanted to go up and comfort her, but was still afraid to approach. Lily sadly confessed her hurt to Rhea. Rhea was very heartbroken. For Lily, he already loves her to the bone, but he still didn't have the courage to confess to Lily. The Japanese sisters approached Lily. They wanted to take Lily's car to the border on Saturday. Lily said yes. On Thanksgiving Day, Lily's heartfelt thanks made everyone happy, but there was something in her words that suggested she was leaving. When we got home, Rhea couldn't let Lily go. After thinking about it for a long time, he finally found the courage to express his deep love to Lily.
I know you may have your mind set on leaving, but I can't let you go without telling you how I feel. I've fallen in love with you. And I love that baby.
He put on the wedding ring he had prepared for a long time for Lily. Lily was deeply moved, and she was determined to live with Ria forever. At the end of the week, Lily came to pick up her Japanese sister and her boyfriend as promised. But the clever Lily saw the clues right away. The man is not a soldier at all but a surrendered prisoner of war. He was trying to use her to help him escape. Lily doesn't say a word, pretended to agree with him. Then in the car she persuaded the two sisters to return to the fold. When the Japanese sisters got out of the car, Lily deliberately took the man to her home.
Walter, let me be frank with you. You'll never make it across the border dressed as an MP. Come with me.
On the surface, she helped the POW find a way to escape. In reality, while he was changing his clothes, she secretly hid the oil drum. Then she put the car keys in an obvious place. Sure enough, the POW fell for the trick, stole the keys and drove away in the truck. Hearing the roar of the engine, Lily rushed to call the police. Just then her water broke. She grabbed the last minute to burn the house clothes. Then she took off the necklace with the photo of her ex-boyfriend and threw the necklace with her ex-boyfriend's photo into the fire. She said goodbye to the past for good. And that's when Ria returns home from her trip. The baby is born. With the sound of the baby's grunting, Ria sang the song her father had sung to her. Looking at Ria, who was so happy to be a father, Lily felt so happy. Maybe in the beginning we were all resigned to the ordinary. We all aspire to a great love. But then, we all succumb to the ordinary. Because the ordinary days are extraordinary love and tolerance. It is this kind of house. 2 people, 3 meals. The sweetness of the 4 seasons is more touching and long-lasting.